Hello, hello. How are things? Who's here? Bennett's first. Oh, look at that. He gave himself a trophy, too. That was nice of him. Kapla, Malin. Peeps. Got peeps. Not that it's ever not a weird show, because this show is always a little weird. But we've never done an oil painting. I don't think. No, I'm 100% certain that we have never done an oil painting on this show. Hey, Kapla, what's up, my friend? McGill's here, Joel's here, Paul's here, Mike Ross. Damn Skippy. I do need a wig. I think I need like a puffy wig. Happy trees. There's the suggestion of some happy little trees. Bob Ross's wooden things and stuff. I'm not changing the name of the channel. This is not going to be a regular occurrence. We have painted on the show before. We've made, actually, in fact, the panel that I'm going to be painting on was made on a live show maybe a month ago. Maybe a little over a month ago. I was trying to use up some scrap 1x2s, and I made some painting panels, or started making some painting panels. This is one of those. So there's wooden things involved, wooden stuff and things involved. I'm going to do an oil painting. Let's turn a happy little pen. Not tonight. Not tonight. We're going to do a happy little oil painting. Mike's trees are no longer happy trees. No, my trees are still happy. Mr. Chris Pennell's trees are not very happy today. They had Hurricane Lee, I think, went ripping through Chris Pennell's yard today, and he sent me a photo of an apple tree. But what used to be an apple tree, it's still an apple tree. It's just like roots are kind of like aiming this way. Time to drive around and collect free wood. I said to him, I was like, "Ooh, that's a deciduous tree, my friend. That could be a coffee table in 2027." Did I put the fires out? I think the fires have been out for a little while, actually. So the story, I guess we should do we'll do the quick story of why I'm painting an oil painting tonight. Because we lost one of our instructors down at the shop, where we do all kinds of classes and courses and workshops and things. And one of our instructors has left, and we are trying to disperse her expertise amongst other teachers and staff members and things. And one of the things that we thought that we might be able to get me doing was the sort of step-by-step follow along with the instructor and paint a picture side of things. Because we do a fair number of those like sort of paint night dealies where it's like I do a step and then you do the step. Kind of Bob Rossi style, in fact. So we are going to see if I can't get there in terms of having the skills and whatnots to be able to have people follow along with me while we do a painting. So you guys are going to be like my practice, my test subjects, whether you like it or not. How did the turning class go? The turning class was fantastic. I had full 4, and they all got through it, and they all had a blast, and at least 3 of the 4 of them want to sign up for the intermediate level, which is the bowl turning class. So they liked it enough that they want to come back and do round 2. So that's a good sign. We like to paint along and drink wine things. We do have a like a date night thing where there's a little bit of wine and cheese and crackers and things. we don't do them like that anymore because years ago, some, like, let's face it, some people wrecked it for everybody else. Let's just put it that way. But the same idea. Yeah, it's like, let's all paint the same thing and we'll do it. You just follow along. I'll do this, you do this. Now I do this, now you do that. So that's hopefully I will get to this point. Maybe I'm already there. I don't know. We'll find out tonight if I'm ready to go ahead and do that. We do have to get this person's things replaced relatively quickly because they have been scheduled. So we should all be prepared to follow along tonight. Yes, I would like for you guys to go get your oil paints and your palette and your black primed canvas or panel. So just go ahead and I'll give you a couple minutes to get that ready. You can prime your panel with either black gesso or just black acrylic paint. We don't have a lot of time, so you might want to have a hair dryer to get that dry. It's cool. I totally watch videos of you teaching painting. Well, maybe I'll make some. I said maybe. It's not unlikely, but possible, I suppose. I've only got acrylic here, not enough notice. I apologize. You're going to have to come to the class down at the Crow's Nest Artist Collective in Willow Point, Campbell River, British Columbia. We have all the paint and everything you're going to need all set up there waiting for you. thecrowsnestgallery.com. Under art classes, there's a tab in the top, art classes. Goes in, it's all chronological. You can just go down and pick the thing you want. It's sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored. Well, I mean, she sponsors me in that she employs me. This particular video she's not paying for. I think my wife would kill me if I grabbed her painting supplies and started at it. I think, well, she'd have trouble because you'd be all the way across the country. Be like, I'm going to grab your oil paint and just hop on a plane. No, you don't need it. It's all supplied. You don't need to grab her supplies. Just pop on the plane, come across, and we'll hook you up. Or go buy your own supplies. Let's dig right in. Let's get going on it. Because I do want to get going on it. Can't just sit here talking about going on it. Quick date night up to British Columbia. There you go. You come for date night and follow along and bake some happy little trees. Come on. We're come over here. So here is our black primed canvas. It's not canvas. It's a panel that I made, like I said, a couple weeks ago. This is kind of the idea that we're going for tonight. Just about lost you. It's I think it's called like sunset sunflowers or something. That's the general concept. It's sort of like an impressionistic. We're not going for realism here. We're going for the idea of a field of sunflowers right at sunset-ish. So here's our panel. This is the ones we're going to be doing are more sort of standard shaped, but this is what I had, so this is what I'm doing it on. This is about 19. This is approximately 19 5/8 by 19 5/8. Got our various colors. Get some magenta. We've got some violet, purple, black, orange, yellow, phthalo green, and a bunch of white. We're going to start, however, with a little bit of linseed oil. We're just going to get this whole dealie lightly coated all the way down with a nice thin coat of the linseed oil. We're not slopping it on. Just need a nice light coating of the linseed oil. We're gonna go like that's probably lots once we do like this. Basically the same way that you do when you're finishing furniture. You put it on there and then you wipe all the excess off. We want it sort of glistening but not dripping, if that makes sense. Nice thin coat over the whole deal. Just easy peasy. Why the oil first? No questions. The oil is laying down the base for the paint to go onto. It's oil. It's oil paint, right? So it's an oil-based paint. We want there to be a base layer of oil. We're doing a wet on wet, right? So in order to do a wet on wet, we need some wet to start with. I'm just going to start with our white because we're going to start with that horizon line. We're going to lay down our white into those streaks in the sky so that we can put our yellows and things on top of that, because they certainly are not going to glow if you try to put them on top of black. And we'll go about half or so way up the deal. And this is not detail work here. We're just putting in like bulk highlight that colors are going to go on top of. Where we want light to be coming through, we are going to make light come through by putting white in here. I'm going to have a tree line coming in over here, so I don't really need to go all the way to the side. We can get a fair bit of white in there. And then when we look at we've got some streaks coming up on an angle there. So we're going to come up and just go like some of these guys up and through there. Everybody's gonna have their own thing at the end. So how much light, how much dark you want, it's gonna be up to you. We want there to be a base layer for your yellows and oranges and things to really pop through. A little bit more light. It's a little earlier at sunset. Make that a little brighter, because I do want those yellows to really come through once we get to that point. We don't want dull yellows. We want bright, vibrant yellows and oranges and things coming through, right? And right here where the sun is just dipping below, we want to be super bright, so we want to make sure we got a fair bit of white right there at the top of our tree line that will eventually be coming all the way across through. So now you guys, with your panel or canvas that you've created and primed up and are ready to go, like I told you, right? Like I said right at the beginning, I gave you a few minutes to get your stuff ready. So now you're going to go ahead and you're just going to do like this. Some streaks up through here. Nice baseline on the horizon. Whoop. Caught the corner there. It's okay. It's all good. Just never even happened. Never even happened. We don't make mistakes, right? We make happy accidents or something. Is that That's what he says, isn't that? That's one of I don't know. I didn't watch enough Bob Ross, honestly. Like, I'm familiar with him, but we don't have like a deep history, Bob and I. Um, it's like a 2-inch brush, give or take, by the way, in case you're wondering. Like public access TV show. Yeah, like if you call in now, we've got operators standing by, and with a donation of $400, you get a Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff tote bag, and a DVD of this episode. Maybe no, you don't. You just get the tote bag. There we go. We got our whites, our sky streakies. Next, we are going to move on to our magenta. So basically, at this point, we're going to sort of outline those white streaks with some magenta, because what's going to happen is eventually these are going to be yellow and orange, and this stuff, the black, is going to be purple. And you don't want to be blending yellow into purple. Yellow and purple are complementary colors. When you blend complementary colors together, you get gross browns and things. Well, you can get nice browns, but you don't want brown in your sunset sky. So we're going to need to separate our yellows from our purple. So we're going to do that with our magenta. We're going to get some, we're going to call it pink, because we're going to add a little bit of white. Because yellow can go into pink and make orange. And pink can go into purple and make a different purpley pink. Yellow cannot go into purple without making brown. So we need to separate it with our pink. So we're going to just kind of go along the outside of these streaky bits with some pink, so that when we add our yellow, we've got a barrier between it and the purple, so that we don't get brown. Brown doesn't work in sky. Well, does it? I don't know. I don't want it. A little richer. It's a little light pink for me. A little darker magenta. It's all going to get blended together and feathered out and stuff anyway, so let's get a little more magenta. Just like that. That's like get it real vibrant. Nice and vibrant, magenta-y, pinky bits like that. Certainly does not look like a sky yet, but we have to trust the process. Okay, this is a process that we're working through. So, yeah, that doesn't look like a sunset. Just bear with me. Now that we've got our magenta-y, pinky strips in here, find out after this message. But wait, there's more. All right, so now we're good. Now we can go into our yellow. We're going to get rid of a little bit of this magenta-y pink. You could use solvent here, but let's not. Solvent's not good for you. We're just going to get rid of as much of it as we can. Maybe a little bit of the linseed oil. I do have solvent, don't worry, but we're just going to get as much of it out of there as we can. Solvent is really not very good for you. Like as woodworkers, You should be paying attention to your VOC consumption. Volatile organic compounds are not your friend. And this is all getting feathered and stuff together anyway. Settle down. Just follow along, okay? Do. You guys are supposed to be focusing on your own painting. Well, no, you watch me too, right? Okay. Relatively clean brush. Gonna put brown streaks in the sky. I'm gonna put brown streaks. No. You know what we can also do? We can also just grab a new brush. If we're worried about that, we'll just grab a new brush. Maybe a smaller guy. Maybe a bigger guy. Maybe we'll share the effort through some friends. Okay. More yellow. Bleep. Nice bright yellow. Right down here. We got. All right. I got bristle. I got a bristle in there. Go get some yellows. Got some pinks. I'm gonna feather some things together a little bit. Make some oranges. And now we've got a barrier between our yellow and what's going to be purple. And this is going to come down black through here. This is all going to be purpley in through here. I could have used one more streaky bit up there. We're just playing. We're just having fun. Okay. It's abstract now. It was always going to be a little bit of an abstracty, like impressionisty kind of thing. Like we are not going for a realistic depiction of this scene. This is not a photograph. If you want a photograph, you go take a photograph. That's not what we're after. I got another one. And now it's got sawdust on it. All right, let's make a light purple. Take some of our white, take some of our purple. Somewhere in that range. We're going to give it the rest of it. A little darker. Yeah, we're gonna feather the pinks into the purples. We're not gonna feather the yellows into the purples if we can help it. I want a little bit more. You paint a copy of a painting doesn't make it has to look like the copy painting. This is exactly right. We're using the painting as influence. We are allowing it to give us the general concept. We want a sunsetty sky with some sunflower field in front of it. That's what we're going for. You know, we're not. This is actually a painting that was created based on a photograph in the first place. So it's giving us our inspiration for our painting. We are not trying to reproduce what it is that we see in front of us. I need another brush, I think, because I want to go back into here. So like add a little bit more of the pink to give myself some more to feather blend in here. That's pretty okay. We're gonna accent it with some orange clouds and things too, so. We got our general sky idea. I would actually have preferred to have another streaky going up through here. Maybe I'll make my tree line come up a little higher just to get rid of a little bit of that sort of negative space through there. I don't know. We're just having fun. I'm having fun. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having fun. Now, we have our general sky idea. It feels kind of sunsetty, doesn't it? I think so. We are going to now take I think I kind of like the oranges that I have. I'm not going to intentionally go in and add a bunch of orange at this point. I can do that if I want to. Gonna add some little puffy clouds, some happy little puffy clouds. If I want to, I will show the people at the class how to do that. In the so they see there's like a light hint of the orangey puffy clouds along the edge of some of those yellow streaks in this one. I will do that during the class just to like show people the technique of making the little puffy cloud. I don't have enough extra brushes with me that I could just grab some orange and just do that. Yeah, I probably do. We're having fun. We're making an art. Let's go on to our tree line. Let's go to the black. We're just gonna come in through here and then right along the horizon line, we're just gonna give the tops, just the tops of some happy little trees, right? We don't need the whole tree. We just need where the tree is in front of the sky, and that's just quick little. We'll start up here. We're just making little. The idea of the shadows of trees, the implication. You're supposed to understand that they are trees. All the way along. We'll darken those up in a minute. Just give ourselves the idea of a tree line. Just poking up into the sky a little bit. Maybe little like sort of 1-inch brush strokes. We don't want to be coming down too far because we don't want black coming down into what we're going to be doing as distant sunflowers in the next step. So just straight up and down lines, just giving the hint of tree. The tops of some happy little trees. That's too flat. We'll give it some more. Maybe we come up a little bit at this side too. Give it a little bit of dynamic. We don't want to just like have a flat horizon. We need a little bit of topography, if you will, to our landscape here. Just do like one flat line. It will look really, really stagnated. Stagnated? Not the right word. Probably not even a word. Stagnated? All right. You understood what I meant. Yeah. Just the impression that there's a tree line there. The suggestion of a tree line. Mm. It's got a little dynamic now anyway. That's okay. That'll do. That'll do, donkey. Yeah. Now we got some trees. Right? Definitely want one more one more yellow streak coming up through it. It's fine. Maybe I'll put like a little bird flying into the frame or something up here later. I don't know. It just feels like this needs something. But we're moving on. Moving on because I would like to get to a beer. So now, like, if you look at a photograph of something, the stuff further away generally is going to be like out of focus, right? It's the stuff in the foreground that's going to be in focus. So our big flowers down in front are going to be the ones that actually like look like flowers. The rest of it is just the impression of flowers, right? The answer is yes. The answer you're looking for is yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to start back right, try to figure out where we stopped with our black, because we don't want a bunch of black in with our impressions of flowers back there. We're just going to get a little bit of yellow, a little bit of the orange, just right on the tips. And we're just going to come in along the background of the field, because these are the trees at the edge of the field, right? So the trees at the edge of the field come down to about here. And we're just going to come in and we're just going to pop some little dots of the idea of flowers all the way along here. Just a little bit of yellow, a little bit of orange. Just making some little dots. Adding some texture, a little bit of visual interest. You want people to recognize that these are flowers off in the distance. You don't necessarily need to, like, let's not kick people in the teeth with the fact that these are flowers. There's a little too much orange in that one, but it is what it is. And we're gonna, as the flowers are getting closer to us, there's gonna be more green involved. So we're just gonna tap in a little bit of the green. Too much. As we go for the next sort of couple inches worth. Still want some yellow and some orange. Now we need to add some green. Still, these are just the idea of flowers. They're hypothetical, metaphorical flowers. That's probably all we need. We've got some room down here. Now we can actually start building our like foreground flowers, which we are going to do with, which brush did I do the yellow with? That guy, I think. Yellow, it's not maybe quite big enough. I may need, yeah, we'll make it work. The middle of the flower is actually an absence of the middle of the flower. So we're just going to do our petals coming out from a negative space, which will serve as the middle of the flower, right? Where do we want our big central focusy one? Let's go right here. You don't have to make the bleep noises when you do it, but it is fun. Like it does add a little bit to your experience. Bleep, bleep. Bleep. You can change up the bloop too. You can be like blurp, blurp. That was an interesting one. We're gonna leave some gaps for some leaves. Again, these are just, even though they're in the foreground, they're still the impression of a flower petal, right? We're not going for, you want a photograph, go take a photograph. You go find this scene somewhere. Bring your camera with you. I will appreciate your photograph. I will. I do like a good photograph. That's not what we're going for here. These are pretty big. I don't know if these needed to be this big. But it's what we did. One more in there. There you go, there's one. Well, the start of one. That the Walmart logo, it does kind of Walmart logo-ish, isn't it? Except I think those are just like straight. Like that's more of a rectangle. A rectangle? Is that how I actually said that? I think I started to say rectangular, and then I stopped at rectangle, so it turned into rectangle. Do another guy over here. I don't. I think I want my yellow to be a little orangier. Actually, it's kind of like a little too lemon yellow. I will pick a better yellow when teaching the class because it looks kind of lemony. But I'll go back into it with some orange and stuff in a little bit. I'll make myself a little bit different yellow for the next one. See if it makes a difference. I'll make it another one sort of a little bit smaller. Beep. Beep. I also really don't like this brush. It's too long and floppy. I want. So, mental note for myself. For next time, not long and floppy. Don't. Okay? Family show. Family show. I am also being cheap on my paint here. I don't know. I don't really know why. No, couple of decent sized ones. I really don't like this brush very much. Since when is this a family show? This has always been a family show. You jerks just kind of like do your best to change the tone of the show. And because the majority of the audience are adults, theoretically, I mean, age is just a number, right? But I think my average audience age is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 64. But we try to be family friendly. Do a couple of like sort of like smaller but still recognizable as a flower. I think 3 that are like flowerish. And then maybe we'll do a couple that are a little further back that are just kind of like bloop, 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 bloop. Kind of like that. Maybe a few that are a little bit bigger back in the space of like the idea of flowers, the concept of flowers area. Might want a couple that are like just a little bit more defined back there. Okay, doesn't look much like a flower. Here we go. Let's go in with a little bit of orange. Those are very, very stark yellow. I also want this whole deal to be a little higher up. Like I feel crouchy and like I'm giving myself a back problem. Like I don't already have back problems enough. Old man complains about back pain. And that used to be a bingo square back when I did bingo squares. Yeah, that just tones down the lemony. aspect of it a little bit. It's a little too lemon yellow. And then we're just gonna give them some leaves and the idea, the impression of leaves and stalks. Like sunflowers are like, some of them have like big ass, like thick stalks, right? So we need some green in this foreground area. In a little bit more of a defined kind of way. And we don't just want like a big empty void as the middle of the sunflower. So we're gonna do get a little dab of green on that. We'll just kind of come in and just give a little bit of texture in here. Too much green. More yellow and orange. Making some dots. I think we're in not a bad place. I should have left a bigger. I think I should have left a bigger gap. I don't know that they're really even sunflowers anymore. They're not quite a big enough like head. Is it the head of the flower? The middle part? This is just practice. We're just practicing. Gotta get better at stuff. You know, I tell my, oh man, I don't know how many times in my life I have told my kid, you're supposed to suck at stuff. Like, he gets really frustrated when he's not good at stuff, like, right away. You're supposed to suck at stuff before you get good at it. That was our tree black. Let's hit some, no, I'm not gonna use that. I got this guy. One more little guy, we'll add some greens for some, like, leaves. That needs to be a little bit lighter so you can actually see it on the black. Maybe not quite that light. In between some of these, you got some leaves coming out. Doesn't need to be super detailed. We're not going for a photograph, remember? Maybe this one's got a big stem. Oh, yeah, too low. Maybe this one does too. It's coming in like that. do some more. Where's my dot and brush? Where's my dot and brush? There's my dot and brush. So it's not quite so stark black. We do want these to really pop though, so we're not going to do too much. You know what? I'm relatively happy with that. I mean, for a second go ever at this, I think that's not so bad. I think that's not so bad. And clean up some of these just a little bit. I think I would leave a bigger gap for the head of the deal. And yeah, that's okay. I'm sure my boss is going to watch this and tell me everything that I did wrong. Because she's a huge jerk. No, that's not why. Because you're supposed to improve. You're supposed to improve at things in life. And she's going to help me do that. All right? It's okay. Should put some puffy clouds in. Let's do some happy puffy clouds. Go get my brush that I don't like, the big floppy one, and grab some orange. And just like right along the top side of these, we'll just do a little bit of puff, 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 puff. Trail down into thin bits, add a little more puff, puff. Yeah, I don't like the big long floppy. Nobody likes a big long floppy. I don't know, some people might like a big long floppy. So we're defining the top of the cloud. Right here. With our big long floppy, we're defining the top edge of our clouds. And then we're gonna feather out the bottom of it. Since you guys are following along and doing this alongside me, how's yours turning out? I hope yours is turning out okay. One more on here. One more on that guy. With our big long floppy. It's really annoying to use. Nadia, if you're watching this, I learned something. Well, I learned a couple of things. I learned I need a bigger negative space for the middle of the flower. And I don't like big long floppies. too. Happy little puffy clouds. We got our happy little trees. We got our happy little puffy clouds. And just... Do I have another brush? I have a clean brush? No, I don't have a clean brush. Guess I'll feather them out with the long floppy. Looks okay from back there. I don't know. What do I get? Like a C plus? Need more petals to make it a sunflower. Oh, okay. Hey, there's Nadia. Needs bigger middles. Yeah, I said that. I think I learned some things. B minus. I got a better grade from her than I did from me. That's cool. Hey, we're always hardest on ourselves about stuff too, right? I mean, I find I don't know if you guys are like this, but personally, like, you know, I'm generally relatively hard on myself. Just because I want to be better, I know that I can be better. Like you want to improve, so you almost grade yourself based on like the possibility of being better. It's weird. Oh, it was cool though. I enjoyed doing it. Amy Curtis did a great job. I get a B plus from Amy. That's better than B minus from Nadia. Honestly, though, Nadia is the one who matters in terms of grading. She's the one who gets to decide whether or not I get to teach this stuff. So I don't know if B minus is good enough to be able to teach people. No pond or rocks or any furry critters. It's true, there aren't. But maybe in a future one, we could do a pond. I would like to do some like snowy capped mountains, and maybe a river coming down through like a ravine off of a snow-capped mountain or something. Just a suggestion of a furry critter. The idea, just a hint of furry creature over here in the. All right, beer. That yellow is wrong. The yellow is too lemony. But overall, I'm not disappointed with how that came out. Flowers need bees. Oh, good call. Maybe some of those little dots, maybe some of the little texture dots are actually bees. They could be. We can infer that that's the case. I think we should make some of the trees larger and detailed. Like the tree line trees. Can do. Maybe even just a few like skinnier brush bits so that there's some skinny trees and some fat trees. Because we shouldn't be generic guising the trees. There should body positivity, you know. Let's not but yeah, maybe a big deciduous guy poking out here in front of the tree lines. In front of the tree line, maybe just like the shadow of like a big apple tree. Like at Chris's house that's now sitting like that with its roots in the air. Smaller petals, bigger middles. A little bit more of change, maybe a little more tree dynamics in the tree line. I think I'm close. Did you paint the obligatory Bigfoot peeking out from behind the trees? There's the hint of a Bigfoot. There's the implication. Back in here. Right in there. With Hurricane Lee blowing in the background. Hey, Bennett likes the painting. Is surprised by the implied depth and distance of the tree line compared to the flowers. Yeah, you can do a lot with just inferring things. Yeah. Let's have another look. Yeah, bigger middles, different yellow and smaller. Bigger middles in relation to the petals. Different yellow for the flower petals because they're very lemony. But yeah, overall impression, I'm not unhappy with that. All right, what else should we do? Well, can't really do anything else. Certainly can't make sawdust in here right now. Because that is going to be sticky for a decade. Oil paint is sticky forever. Shop stool? Yeah, let's work on the shop stool a little bit. And also, to be fair, I was kind of rushing. I'm not going to make excuses. It is what it is. Like that happened in an hour. 45 minutes probably. And I got to walk through it. Hypothetically, if I teach the class, I have 2 hours to walk through it with people. So I can be more patient and more deliberate and can make some of those changes that I want to make and adjustments and get better. It's what you're supposed to do. Get better. All right. Now what? I don't like the long floppy. Brush selection. Smaller petals, bigger heads. Tree dynamic. I got the order of things right, though. Didn't I get the order of things right? White, pink, yellow, purple, trees, black trees, background flowers, foreground flowers. Were you Russian? I thought you were Canadian. And hey-oh. Now, have you used up all those records yet? Yeah, Nadia, we need to get using records because he's got more that he wants to give. His mom has the store full of garbage records that we can have more of anytime we want, I think. Cool. That was fun. I did enjoy that. And nobody has told me how their painting turned out. I would like to know from you guys how yours went. I could do like if you're interested in doing a follow along painting thing, like no, let's not. we sell that class at the shop. I probably shouldn't be doing it all the time on the internet for free. I use latex when I paint. Yeah, it's a good. Everybody congratulate Mr. Chris Pinnell, by the way. His not yet completed shed withstood the storm that went through that his apple tree did not withstand. Took down trees, didn't take down the like half build, give or take, shed. So his structure is fairly sound on that bad boy. Hurricane is still. Oh, I shouldn't say anything because it's still going. Okay, never mind. Don't. No, nobody say anything. And smash up a bunch of those records and collage them back together in the shape of crows, or perhaps in a nest. Look at that. Shattered record, crow in a nest, collage, mosaic. That's not bad. That's he's got a little bit going on. That actually would be a pretty cool project. Busted up record mosaic thing would be pretty cool. TJ the DJ said to treat vinyl with respect. This is not that kind of vinyl. Okay? Like even a DJ who respects the vinyl would look at some of these and be like, yeah, that one can go. A lot of Christmas. A lot of Christmas. Okay, destroy it. Yeah, it's a lot of, and not like, I'm gonna put it in quotes, good Christmas. It's not like, it's like Christmas hymns by the Louisiana Pentecostal choir and stuff, like just it's yeah. And like all the no-namers throughout history who produced a Christmas album and stuff. David Hasselhoff Christmas, did he do it? Did David Hasselhoff do a Christmas album? That would not surprise me. That one I might save. I might not let that one go into an art project because that would just be cool to have. 50s, 60s Christmas specials, soft 60s, and obscure funk soul groups. It's a pretty good description of the box of records. a lot of Christmas. And yeah, like, yeah. Like Bob Shiraz and the Funky Toucans. You're like, who the shit is Bob Shiraz? And when did he sign on with the Funky Toucans? Soundtracks to family specials no one knows. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good box of records to turn into art. Hey, by the way, there's 15 of you watching this show, and only 7 of you are enjoying yourselves. Hit the button. It's down there in one of the corners underneath. I think. I don't know where they put it anymore. They're moving it around all the time. I did an art. Remember the New Year's resolutions list for this year? I'm not saying that I'm going to win New Year's resolutions this year, because I'm probably not. But one of them was absolutely like, do more art. And I'm winning on that one for sure. Point to where the like button is and I'll click it. I can't. Because I don't know. I think I pointed at it at some point when I was pointing. Let's point down with my left hand. Is it down there? McGill's got my back. Oh, my right? That's my right hand. Down there? It's okay. A couple more of you did it. More of you here tonight than sometimes too. That's cool. Do you guys want to watch me paint? You saw that it was painting night and you were like, damn, I'm watching. It's weird. I mean, it's cool. Whatever you guys like, but I wouldn't have thought that this would have been like, oh, gotta tune in. Mike's gonna paint. Maybe just for the novel. Maybe you were like hoping I would fail. Like this is like a train, watching the train wreck as you drive by kind of situation. You're like, oh, this will be hilarious. I want to watch you build the tallest possible pyramid you can out of golf balls. I don't really have that many golf balls. I don't think. I mean, the tallest pyramid I could build out of golf balls would be based on the number of golf balls I have, which would probably not be a very tall pyramid. Yeah, maybe have like 3 dozen golf balls. Not true. I ordered 4 dozen golf balls the last time I ordered golf balls, and I have not been golfing since then. So I have at least 4 dozen golf balls. Beer. Yeah, that yellow is very wrong. It's not unpleasant to look at. It's a little glaring. The yellow on the petals is wrong, and it kind of detracts from the whole thing. But I'll fix it. Guys, gotta go. See you next time. All right. Later, Kapla. Thanks for coming, man. Did you have fun? Was that fun for you? How did your painting turn out? I was hoping. What were you hoping? That I would fix the flowers? I'm hoping too, because the yellow is wrong. Like, it's a very, very lemon yellow. I tried to orangey them up a little bit, but I didn't quite get there. And kind of lost interest. For now. I'll dig back in. I'll bring it in. I'll bring it into the shop and you can tell me how to fix it. B- is not that bad. For like the pressure that I was feeling, the intense pressure that was placed upon me by my discerning audience that is very demanding. Wrong, he's doing the force be with you. May the force be with you, Gandalf. $20 points to Gryffindor. Oh, random hypothetical questions. We're all art critics hired by the Louvre and the Smithsonian. It probably pays pretty well. Art critics are nonsense. You can't lose interest while you're teaching. Well, I wasn't. Yeah, but that's the thing is I wasn't really teaching. I was practicing. I was somewhat teaching. I was doing some of the teaching things. But it didn't feel the same because it's like, well, I wasn't getting paid to teach these people how to do this. And B, it felt a little weird doing it on my live show where I normally don't do that. There's a weird dynamic tonight. I wouldn't lose interest if I was actually teaching the class. I think I lost interest because I was like, well, this is the wrong yellow. Fuck it. Kind of a thing. And one of the mantras of this show is that we strive for adequacy. Here on the Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff live broadcast, we strive for adequacy. And so it would have felt weird to be like, let's dig back into this and make it better than adequate. You know what I mean? Don't come here to learn. It's McGill. I'll... Hold on. Nadia. I do this down at Nadia's shop. But the Mike's Wooden Things and Stuff coasters. One of them literally says, don't come here to learn. If you could go back in time and give your parents advice before you were born, what advice would you give them? I would choose to not do that. Because I would hate to say anything to them that would possibly in any way make them not have sex that time. I wouldn't want them to change anything that happened before they did that. Because then what if I don't end up existing. The hottest female singer of the 70s? I don't know. That's a like, I don't even think that that's a thing to discuss, really. The attractiveness of people is not really a. Like, A, who cares? Like, are they talented? But B, I don't know. Also, I don't know. Annie Lennox? Was she in the 70s? 80s for sure. Make a lot of bad choices while I'm teaching. It's figuring out how to hide it and fix it before anyone notices. Yeah, it's the same with building furniture. You're gonna make mistakes. Just gotta hide them. Start disappearing in a photo. Yeah, see, right? Marty McFly style. Like, I say anything to either of my parents, and then all of a sudden, like, they don't go for dinner that night or whatever, and then. But there's the paradox, right? Because then, if they don't do the thing that creates me, then I can't have gone back in time to tell them the thing that changed the course of history. So then it couldn't have happened that I did that. That's why I don't believe in time travel. Because anything that happens going backwards that changes the course of the past's future could then create a situation where the time travel doesn't exist, and it's like there's a Stevie Nicks. Yeah, okay, yeah. I am going to have myself a quick nicotine break. And we are going to, I don't know, think of some random hypotheticals or some trivia. We had trivia a couple weeks ago that I turned out I was actually quite good at. Events only appear paradoxical within a time cone. Your face is a time cone? I didn't have anything, so I went with your face is. Didn't work, but you got to try. Oh, give me 4.5 minutes. I'm gonna take this. I've been wearing this for 10 hours. That's gonna go over here. I'm gonna go for a stretch and a nicotine. And then we'll go for as long as people want to go for. I could grab a guitar if people want me to. I could, I don't know. Oh, back in a couple. Talk amongst yourselves. It looks pretty good from like 15 feet. You back up enough and it looks pretty good. You guys didn't want to talk amongst yourselves? Came back from the future to give you the secrets of time travel, but you weren't interested. I don't believe you. I think that's lies. I'm surprised you guys didn't take that opportunity to just badmouth me to my boss. See, I shouldn't have said anything because now you're gonna be like, oh yeah, and he can't do anything about it. You know, if you had a handful of modeling clay and whatever you made would become real until you willed it back into clay, what would you use it for / make? Is it a handful? So like a pound? Like a couple pounds? I lowered the YouTube quality. 240p. It looks good under at 240. Right on. It from 15 feet out in the driveway, it looks okay. Did you do a painting? I did do a painting. Show up on time. I did this painting. Did the glare off the. Did the like the flower field and the tree line and the sunset and stuff. I have a couple pounds of clay, and whatever I make out of it becomes real. I don't know. Depends on how I feel right then. Maybe I'd just make a little dancing robot. Just because it would make me happy for a little while to just watch the little dancing robot do his thing. Maybe turn the clay into gold. Yeah, see, now somebody's thinking like fiscally responsibly. Just turn it into a brick of gold and go trade it in for real money. To a 2-pound diamond. Sell it to De Beers. Fucking assholes. Maybe one of the worst companies on the planet in terms of ethical behavior. And let's try to keep things positive for once. Man, sometimes this show goes in a really negative direction. I'm trying to stay more positive in my life. I was talking to Nadia about this earlier today. Just trying to feel more positive about the world in general and being grateful and appreciative and things, and not try to just keep the positivity level higher, And no, it wasn't because she was like, oh God, man, you are fucking miserable. Will you stop it? It was just a conversation we were having about how specifically some people look at things in a really negative light a lot of the time, and how we both need to be better at not doing that. I think everybody does. I think it'd be good for everybody to just be a little more grateful and appreciative and look at the positive side of things more often. I try, just it's hard sometimes because life is difficult. Pierce just throws it in a pile with all the other 2-pound diamonds. Yeah, they probably would. That's what they do. You could change the sounds your body makes. Oh, hold on. Kirk, fart, yawn, sneeze. What new sound effects would you replace the normal sounds of your body? Jeez. Okay. I think a burp would be better if it was like an eagle scream. Like if every time you burped, it sounded like the screech of an eagle. Yawn, sneeze. A sneeze would be a really crisp and cleanly played E minor on a 12-string guitar. That is a beautiful sound. A really crisp and clean E minor on a 12-string. Fart. What would I want a fart to sound like if I could replace it with another noise? This is a weird question. If a fart could sound like something else, a jaguar growl. Would be neat. I don't know if I'd replace the sound of a fart though, because the sound of a fart is like universally funny, and it makes people smile and laugh. So I like that. I like the fact that like anything that makes everyone around you, well, it only makes them smile and laugh for a second. Do eagles screech? I thought the eagle noise in movies was a red-tailed hawk. Maybe it is. But you know the sound that I'm referencing. Clearly. Hey, by the way, Lajeunesse. Was it Lajeunesse or was it Malin? I don't remember. Whoever had the penis issue. That's a weird way to say it. How's the wasp injury? It was Malin. Hey, Tim. How's the wasp injury? The cucaracha horn? Well, see, this is another good point. Is it everybody's farts now sound like thing, or is it just mine? It wasn't a penis, it was a testicle. Oh, okay, so I'm my bad. You did just say sensitive area, and I just don't put wasps on your penis was hilarious. One of my proudest moments actually was don't put wasps on your penis. It's all good now. Okay. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Can you have more than one noise depending on the severity of the fart? I don't know. These are all questions that would have to be answered by the question asker. Like, would it just be a louder that noise? I also like the way you phrase that, the severity of the fart. This was a more severe fart, and therefore it has graduated to the point of bear yelling about protecting its children. Yeah, like would just a little squeaker fart be a completely different sound, or would it just be a less intense sound, a version of that? Funny story. Oh, good. Anything that starts with funny story, comma. I grew up on a farm, and my dad would use the brush hog to mow unused fields all summer. One time he got a tick down there. It did give him Lyme disease. When it, yeah, the classic bullseye. Wow. Wow. Thought there was a new video coming. Well, you thought wrong, Todd. I'm having trouble transferring files. The files are not wanting to transfer where I want them. And so it is not. Some of them are where they need to be, some of them are not. Some of them are still on my phone and need to get to the software. It's in progress of getting the files where they need to be so that I can edit them together. Maybe next week, maybe not. You'll wait until it's ready. Yeah, I mean, you'll have to. That's just the reality of the situation. Do you use iMovie? I do use iMovie. I'm starting to do a little bit more in DaVinci Resolve, but mainly iMovie, yeah. And see, I have a Samsung Android phone and a Mac. So in order to file transfers are not awesome, and my port doesn't work. So I actually have to. Nobody cares. Well, maybe you do. I actually have to upload my files from my phone to my Google Drive, go over to my computer, download them off my Google Drive, save them, and then import them into iMovie in order to transfer all of my files. So, not ideal. Next time I upgrade my phone, I am going to go to the Apple platform. I should have already, but my first ever smartphone was a Samsung, and I got familiar with it and comfortable with it. And so every upgrade I've done has just been a new Samsung, whatever the newest one was. I am now ready to admit, in order for things to work nicely together, I need to go to the iPhone on my next. When this one's about to go, the iPhone is in my future. Also, the cameras on those fuckers are awesome. Thought you had an iPhone. Sure don't. If I did, my life would be a lot easier in terms of making content. Beer. And then probably get wrapping things up. The only problem going from one platform to another is you can't take your apps and games with you. You'll have to buy them again. Good news. I don't think I have any games or apps on my phone that I paid money for. So it's one of the rare iMac and Android people. Yeah, I know. I make my own life more difficult than it needs to be. Long day in the shop. Gonna go. All right. Later, Paul. You making a ton of guitars? Oh, no. Stay here for a second. Just give me 1 minute. I got to show you something I found. You'll like this, Paul. You guys know how, like, I buy stuff and then forget that I did that? And then find it way later? Did you find another half-built guitar? No, but I did at some point buy Telecaster templates. Neck pocket. Ferrule things probably. I don't, oh, it even says on it. 3/8 inch ferrule template. It's not a StewMac. It was like a local guy who makes guitars, but it's like four, and then like actual schematics and measurements and things. Totally forgot that I had purchased this. Found it the other day in the back. Yeah, 3/4 MDF. And it's got like all the hole placements and all the bit. So you're building a telly next? I don't know. I just forgot I had it. So, I mean, I've got to get through the 3 that I've started before I worry about what's next. But I just thought it was very apropos that I have a set of templates and it's for Telecaster. Because I watch you churn out Telecasters all the time, and I'm like, those look slick. I should make a Telecaster one day, and totally forgot that like I have the things to do that with. Who wants to buy my late 70s Schecter Van Telecaster? Brett, all included. I don't know. I don't know who wants to buy that. Probably depends on how much you want for it. Got some 100-year-old barnwood in this week to make a telly out of. See, I'm probably going to do something stupid. Like make it out of, I don't know, I'll make it out of Bubinga and Bloodwood or something stupid. Just because, like, I do that kind of thing. But I thought it was funny. I was looking through stuff again. I was like, what? What's the over-under on stupid? I don't know. There isn't really a number, so you can't put an over-under on it. And it's not stupid. It's just like I'll make it out of something and it'll end up being either really heavy or just not. Because I'll be like, ooh, that's pretty. Let's make it out of that. Shouldn't have made it out of that. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll use that. Hey, Paul. Can I use that same template to make a thin line, semi-hollow? And just like route out a bunch of like cavities and stuff and then put a top on? Because that's really, like, if I'm going to make a Telecaster, I probably want to make like a semi-hollow thin line style. As long as you have some. What if I don't want the traditional F-hole style? Maybe I want a different kind. I'll just cut. Maybe I want it to look like a dolphin. I understand what you mean, though. So that's really the only difference? Is just like carving out a bunch like of cavities and putting a hole in it? Because then I could make it out of Bubinga and it wouldn't be stupid heavy. Oh. Anyway, let's keep it under 2 hours tonight, which we're coming up on. So I appreciate you guys stopping in. Make about 15 different tele versions with one main set of templates. Yeah, okay. So the outskirts of the guitar is all the same template. It's just the innards that's different. Okay. Even like pickups are all in the same place and everything. Yeah, okay. Cool. Okay, right on. So that was a cool find. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, everybody. I will see you next week for whatever we get up to. Who knows anymore? I'm not even going to pretend like I have a plan or like an idea of how next week is going to. Probably won't be turning. Then, like, after I churned out all of those bowls for the shop and then classes and stuff these days, I kind of just, I'm not feeling standing in front of the lathe most of the time. So whatever we do next week, probably, who knows? Maybe I will spontaneously feel like being at the lathe, but probably not. Should start probably producing snowmen and gnomes so that I have a bunch at Christmas season. Who knows? Bye for now, everybody. Thanks for coming. I painted a thing. Yay! Later.